What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Commanders Guru. Today, we're going to be talking about why the Washington Commanders should select a wide receiver in the first round. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look, Commanders 4-12, looking at 4-13 with Josh Johnson, starting in Week 18 against the Eagles, and we have a horrendous offense. We have a horrendous wide receiver core. What do we do? Why in today's video are we talking about drafting wide receiver when we have so many needs at defense off the top of my head? We got safety. Quan Martin is horrendous. Cornerback. Trey Amos is the only actual good cornerback in that room. Edge. Even linebacker. And we're talking about wide receivers. Why wide receivers? Well, first off, the players. Jordyn Tyson is one of the best prospects in the wide receiver position in a very long time. Right? Looking at his profile. Let's just look at his profile real quick. Right, guys? Um, realistically, this doesn't do him justice. He has better hands, in my opinion. It's like for what I know, draft buzz. I know this stuff. It's just a pretty good. It's like a good way to to overall know what's happening for these prospects. I know how they rank this stuff. He has 90% hands, in my opinion. He has, in my opinion, he has 95 short route, and he has 92 to 95 intermediate route. He's a 97, 98 deep threat. This guy is an absolute beast. This guy is 6'2", 200 pounds, and he's, in my opinion, probably one of the better prospects coming in to the NFL draft as a wide receiver since Jamar Chase, maybe even Marvin Harrison. He does have some injury history, which who knows might not be the best thing in the world, but there's better. But there's other options we can think about. Jordyn Tyson, in my opinion, is probably my wide receiver 1A. Who's my wide receiver 1B in the 2026 NFL draft? Well, that is Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. 6'3", taller, a little bit lighter. He's a little more agile. He's projected. Well, we're gonna see it's all during his pro day and maybe even the NFL Combine. I think he's gonna be like 4.4, 4.5. Not, I don't think 4.6. He's fast, right? He's fast, but think about him though. He's one of the better deep threats in the in the draft this year, and he has a good percentile in height. One of the lower sides in 40 and in weight, but for what it's worth, he's really good. He's getting. I mean, like Roma Dunze, he was easily a top 10 pick in the draft. And I mean, you could even say he could have been even a little bit higher. Looking at this stuff, look, hands, I get that. Short route, yeah. He's really good route runner. He's really good route runner. Look at the 97% intermediate routes. And then he is a 96 deep threat. Let's think about Jane Daniels. Jane Daniels has one of the better deep throw act. He's one of the better deep throw accurate, one of the better deep throwing quarterbacks in the NFL. Sorry, where in my opinion, Carnell Tate could excel with Jane Daniels, and in my opinion, he's gonna find a way to get separation just off of his frame. He's gonna get separation from his from cornerbacks and even safeties. And he has a 144 pass rate when targeted. Like, this is a guy that's gonna get open, that's gonna do all this stuff, right? Like, Jane Daniels needs a wide receiver. Jane Daniels needs a guy like this who can do what he's doing. And if you give Jane Daniels more help, let's look at other quarterbacks in his position. Michael Penix, he has Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, Bijan Robinson, elite supporting cast. Caleb Williams, Luther Burden, and upcoming superstar DJ Moore, good wide receiver. Roma Dunze, good wide receiver. Colson Loveland, good tight end. Cole Kmet, good tight end. Top 10 offensive line. We don't have that in Washington. And DeAndre Swift and Kyle, no, I forgot, I don't even know. I'm not going to pronounce this. Both two good running backs. Who does Jane Daniel have? Ty McLaurin? He's regressed this year since his All Pro year last year. And in my opinion, he's a wide receiver 2 at best. Put him at wide receiver 2, put Carnell Tate in this wide receiver 1 position. Like, let me tell you, Ty McLaurin is going to excel, and Carnell Tate is going to excel too. Because I can't imagine in the future some of the better tight cornerbacks in the league being able to stop a guy like Carnell Tate. And it's like, the reason why I am, and also I want to say this too, saying for like Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, good wide receiver, but I'm giving Terry McLaurin hate, and like Terry McLaurin's just a bad option for Jane Daniels, even though Terry McLaurin's a better wide receiver. For clarification, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, both wide receiver 2s. The reason why for DJ Moore and the Caleb Williams is better for him is that DJ Moore has 2 good wide receivers. Caleb Williams has 2 other good wide receivers in Ruma Dunze and Luther Burden, and even an elite tight end target. Jane Daniels, who else does he have? Deebo Samuel? Deebo Samuel is one of the worst route runners in the NFL. Plus Luke McCaffrey, he's been injured since like week 6. Jalen Lane, don't get me started on Jalen Lane. He's a punt returner and we took him in the 4th round. I don't understand why we took that guy. To be fair, even though he's a really good punt returner, and if we figure stuff out, he might become a better pick in the future. When our wide receiver 1's wide receiver 2 at best, and he sucks, and he's like not, and we have no one else that can. We have no other wide receiver 2s on the team. It's terrible. It's a terrible situation for the quarterback. And I gotta say again, Jane Daniels has one of the worst situations in the NFL. Let's look at his roster for fuck's sake. Terry McLaurin, cool. Chris Moore. Chris Moore, by the way, during the Bears and Cowboys game was legitimately this Jane Daniels' wide receiver 1. That was horrendous. Deebo Samuel again. Deebo Samuel again, in my opinion, absolute ass. He needs to get off my team. He was really good the first 5 weeks. Fell off a fucking cliff. Traylon Burks, realistically, is the fucking best wide receiver on the team at the moment, outside Terry McLaurin. This guy's actually been producing, and this is a guy that I can see us re-signing this year. Noah Brown, I don't want to get fucking. So this guy's been hurt even before fucking training camp even started, and of course, I mean, and he's also just bad. We have the only wide receiver on this roster who is under contract right now is Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane, Terry McLaurin. Next year, if JD is wide receiver next year, Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, and Jalen Lane, I might not watch football next year. That is the worst situation, I think, worst wide receiver core I think you will ever fucking see ever. And I don't even believe that. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's still not as bad, and that's still not that much worse than we had this year. So, I mean, just off the fact that we're not going to have um, any other more than 3 wide receivers on contract next year, just obviously just makes wide receiver an immediate need, and the fact that we don't have any other good wide receivers outside of Terry McLaurin. Luke McCaffrey has potential to become good. Terry McLaurin is wide receiver 2, so that's why I'm saying there's no wide receiver 1s in free agency this year, and that's why selecting a wide receiver who can become a wide receiver 1 this year could be really productive. Carnell Tate definitely an option. He's really good. He's probably my favorite wide receiver in the draft after watching film. He's really fucking good. If honestly, I'll be honest with you. If he gets like 4.4, if he gets like a 4.45 in the 40 in the combine or pro day, he's the best wide receiver in the draft by a large mile. And here is probably not the best, but probably my favorite one. Slot wide receiver though, so we gotta take the. He's not a wide receiver, true wide receiver 1. He's a slot wide receiver. But that's why people might not like it that much. He had a 4.48 40, which is pretty decent. He's small. Obviously, he's not a true X or Y wide receiver. He's a true Z. But I mean, really, this guy is the fastest wide receiver in the draft. Who is in the first? He's the fastest first round wide receiver. Sorry. He is the best route runner in the draft, and he has the best yak ability in the draft. That's why he's prestige so high. And it says slot wide receiver right there. I imagine these being updated pretty soon, to be honest. But come draft day, again another QB passer rating that's really high. Jay Daniels could definitely use that. Um, slot receiver, like I just believe this guy has the best ability to get open and the best ability to get extra yards after the catch. This is definitely a guy that the Commanders could definitely think about pairing up with Jane Daniels. Because this guy will get open. Again, Jane Daniels, if you guys did not know, had the third lowest wide receiver separation rate in the NFL. He was also a plus 0.18 on QB hurt drop rate, which is the highest in the NFL. So that means Jane Daniels is the most hurt quarterback by drops in the NFL. Makai Lemon, Makai Lemon saves that. Like, for players like Carnell Tate and a little bit of Jordyn Tyson, I don't really know if they're going to get that much. I don't know if they're going to get guaranteed separation. I do know they're good route runners. The fact that they're not as quick as Makai Lemon, like Makai Lemon is, I don't believe that. I can't guarantee that they're going to get guaranteed separation. Jordyn Tyson and Carnell Tate are going to excel as deep threats and one-on-one situations and jump balls and everything. Makai Lemon is a guy that I could see just being alone 40 yards down the field for an easy touchdown. I see that for Jordyn Tyson. I see that for Carnell Tate too, but I see it more for Makai Lemon. So that's why he's a first round uh wide receiver this year compared to these two guys who I would say are so better talents, but this guy is just a better wide receiver. Not a better wide receiver, better route runner, and a better and faster and a better yak ability, which Jane Daniels could definitely use because Jane Daniels has like I think the lowest amount of yak, the fewest amount of yak touchdowns in the past 2 years combined. So I mean, for what it is, it's anything could work. Denzel Boston's also a decent option. He's 6'4", 209 from Washington. It's a pretty good 40s, 4.5. Um, not the best route runner in the draft. He has good hands. He's a good deep threat, and he will definitely excel in one-on-one situations. I could imagine him becoming an option for Commanders. Could be like I don't believe it's 7, but I do believe they trade down. This could be an option. He will excel on one-on-one jump balls. They also have pretty good deep threat too. Good passer rating, good blocking too. Same for Conte. Conte is also a really good blocking wide receiver. He good hands too. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Denzel Boston on a trade down. Another wide receiver that a lot of Commanders fans have been talking about is KC Concepcion. Don't know if I don't know. I don't think I butchered that. He's fast. He's young. Oops. Um, like yeah, he's a slot wide receiver, but on a trade down, like you could trade down to like 25, 26, get like a second round pick and a first round pick, get some absolute picks for the future, and take this guy and walk out happy. This guy, in my opinion, can definitely do stuff that wide receivers and free agents can't do. Good yak ability, not the best hands. It says it here, but from what you see, he's not the best hands. Good yak ability, and he can definitely get separation from DBs. So Casey is definitely a good option too. Wide receiver is definitely gonna be a need in the draft and even free agency by a large margin, just because of not people on contract and also for how fucking horrendously insanely bad the wide receivers we have are. Let's look at Chris Braswell. This guy's pretty good. He's really fucking tall and he's really fucking big, and he's still pretty fucking fast. Good passer rating. He's good route running. He's good hands, good blocking, and he's a good deep threat. We can imagine this guy. I could definitely see the Commanders taking a guy like um like Brazil. Um, Again, in the trade back situation, I do believe only wide receivers I see the Commanders actually selecting at seven is Jordyn Tyson, Carnell Tate, and Makai Lemon. When a trade down situation, this does not sound that bad. This does not sound that bad. And again, good passer rating when targeted. We just need, and again, just giving a guy J.J. Daniels, like a player who has a high pass rate when targeted, and the guy who can get separation and X Ys. It's like honestly, and like a future replacement for Jerry McCoy too is so needed right now for J.J. Daniels' a future in prime. This might not even sound that bad of an idea of getting Chris Brazzell because of the fact that he's 6'5" and he's still fast. Like this could be a nice move to make right here. I want to look at Jordyn Tyson's passer rating. Yeah, I mean it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. Uh, Jordyn Tyson's still my like wide receiver one in the draft by a pretty large margin. I do believe the Commanders should select him seventh pick. That's what I had in our last draft. That's what I said the Commanders should do. And my last and first video ever was a mock draft and taking a guy like Jordyn Tyson. Let's see, can I do a mock draft right now? Let's see where everything's going in the PFF mock draft. I don't. I absolutely don't have a subscription, so let's see. Can I possibly do a mock draft right now? Looks like I can. Let's get in here. Let's see. Let's see. Dave Bailey, Jordyn Tyson, Carnell Tate, Peter Woodson. Makai Lemon going six. Man, look at that. Look at that. Caleb Downs not going to. Caleb Downs, in my opinion, will be available at seven. Ruben Bain, by the way. Ruben Bain, by the way, he's looked elite. He was so fucking good against Ohio State. Same for David Bailey was really good too against Oregon. He was really good. Well, for what it's worth, I mean, David Bailey, he's a third down edge rusher. Ruben Bain, short arms. There's a risk for these two guys where there's not that much potential, but it's more for like boom or bust. This guy, they're gonna start out good or bad, and I can't. And if Ruben Bain and David Bailey start off bad, I cannot imagine them getting better throughout the years. Jordyn Tyson though is I mean, looking at it right now, I believe you just take a guy like Jordyn Tyson or you take a guy like Carnell Tate here. They had the best game against Miami, and I do believe that was apparent and obvious. I do believe he's just the best wide receiver. I do believe he's the best option available. Carnell Tate. Taking care of Carnell Tate, I do believe will makes the most sense for Jane Daniels and for the team. Get a guy that can absolutely just save the team. Like I don't know what they're gonna give us for the grade. I think it's like A minus or something like that. That's my prediction. B plus. People, I'll take this 100%. I'll take Carnell Tate in the first round. I do believe that's a move the Commanders could strategically take a wide receiver. I rest my case of why the Commanders should take wide receiver. There's good wide receiver prospects, and there's a drastic need at wide receiver. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want more Commanders content and more draft stuff. See you guys in the next one, and peace out.